Thank you all for coming out to the CRC open mic here every Tuesday night. Sign up starts at 8 o'clock. Show starts at 8:30. Special night because we are taping this for Can TV. So, hey, make some noise, everybody. So let's show everybody how good of an audience we are. Right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we get started, let's give a big, loud round of applause for the woman who puts this all together, Miss Sarah Bohr. How was your weekend, Sarah? Yeah, what'd you do? Anything special?
Not really.
You barbecued, or you went to a. You went to a barbecue. Okay, you're so lazy. Good, excellent. And now moving right along from Sarah and her boring barbecues, let's get a big round of applause for your bartender, Mr. Eric Bays. He's serving all of your drinks, and if you stick around till the end of the show, you get a free shot of alcohol, so that's delicious. Yes, I've started. Eric, did you do anything fun over your weekend? You went to a barbecue. Okay. It's about. Is there anyone in here that did not go to a barbecue? All right. You didn't go to a barbecue. All right, there's a few people. All the vegans did not go to a barbecue because you can't barbecue plants, right? Can you? I don't know. Maybe you can. You can. Yeah, all right. You could, but why? Just why? Throw some fire on that delicious vegetable. Okay. Cool. So the way it works, like most open mics in the city, you will get 5 minutes here on stage. At the 4-minute mark of your set, Sarah is going to flash that blue light right back there. That blue light means you have 1 minute to finish up and get off stage. Good. Got it. Great. Super-de-duper. So I'm sure we're all aware, because most people in here are on social media of some sort. Colin Kaepernick is the face of the new Nike ad campaign. Yes, that same Colin Kaepernick that took a knee to protest the violence against minorities by the police. And then people were like, that is awful. That guy is protesting the flag in America. And they were all upset. So now, because of this, they are burning their Nike gear and their shoes and hats that they already bought and paid for, because that makes sense. I mean, buy these pair of Air Jordan Retros for $260 and light them on fire over the Labor Day weekend. Yeah, so it doesn't really make sense to me. I know they're like, this is because we're against Colin Kaepernick, but I'd like to say, no, I think it's because you're against shoes. Yeah, I'm going to completely miss what you're trying to go for, and I'm going to say, you're anti-shoe. No, I'm not anti-shoe. I'm anti-Colin. No, you're against shoes. And why would anybody be against shoes? That's un-American. It's not. I hate Colin Kaepernick. No, you hate shoes. Why don't you go back to some third world country where they don't have shoes, like America? All right, cool. All right, I'm a screamer. I'm a screamer, if you didn't know. In bed and on stage. Yeah. I've worn glasses since I was in kindergarten. Yeah, which is weird, because I looked like a college professor in like my school picture back in kindergarten, because my parents had the crazy idea. They dressed me up. I had the glasses on. They put me in a turtleneck and a blazer with the patches on the elbows. Yeah, so there was like all the other kids in like t-shirts and everything, and there was me sitting looking like the smartest person in class. Only if I was as smart as that picture made me look. I'm not. I went to a religious school, and the only thing I learned there was to be an atheist. That's it. I wasn't very smart in school at all. So with that being said, we're going to move along and get to our first comedian of the evening. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, big round of applause for Nick Cartwright. Oh!
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I know what I look like, okay? I got this haircut on purpose. I walked into the barbershop and I was like, hey, could I get a fade? And apparently they heard, I want to look like an 80s drag racing villain. That's... Like, I didn't even get the main bad guy. I got the sidekick cut. You know what I mean? Like, I should just be holding a baseball bat and agreeing with everybody, just like, yeah! Yeah! Don't matter what we doing, I'm snitching. One of those kind of guys. I'm glad to be back in Chicago. I was at a family wedding recently, and my grandma hit me with that question, you know what I mean? She's like, when is our little Nick gonna get married? And I didn't know what to say, because I'm 23 and she's 88. And so what I had to say, I said what I said, but I realized when I was saying it that I was sounding like a scientist explaining that the sun was gonna explode to her. I was like, listen, eventually it might happen, but this is gonna be long after you and your friends have been dead for a long time, okay? I don't know. I'm skeptical about marriage because I got cheated on in the past. I had a girlfriend who cheated on me at a Halloween party when we were wearing matching costumes. Yeah, that's pretty brutal, you know what I mean? We were dressed as Mario and Luigi, and I walked in the bedroom where everything was going down. I was like, hey, what the hell? And then she looked at me and she was like, well, we can't do anything. We're brothers. And that's a red flag, right? When your girlfriend commits more to the Halloween costume than your relationship, you know? My friend saw that happening and was like, oh, Nick, you gotta get fucked up. And I was like, absolutely. And I thought he was gonna get me a couple of beers, but he got me a tab of acid and some Adderall to kick it off. I don't know if you guys know a lot about drugs, but acid is enough drugs. Like, you don't need more drugs than that. But I made that mistake. I took the acid and I took the Adderall. And then I was just Mario after he got one of those stars. I was just wandering around this party like, guys, my skin is rainbows. Don't touch me, you'll die. All I need is a go-kart, 3 turtle shells, 2 banana peels, and I can get my girlfriend back, okay? Oh, you guys didn't play Mario when you were kids? Nobody played Mario? It's either you didn't play Mario or you were too shitty at Mario to get one of those stars to relate. I remember that night specifically because me and my girlfriend at the time, we got in a huge fight in public. And that's the worst when you're dating somebody and you get in a fight in public. Because everyone's watching you, and they're watching you like they're watching the white girl roll their burrito at Chipotle. They're just like, oh, that's going to fall apart in the car. I'm gonna have to eat that relationship with a fork when I get home. I think things didn't work out with her because she really liked dirty talk in bed. I don't know if you guys can tell by my posture or my t-shirt right now, but I'm not very good at dirty talking. Like, she once, we were in bed and she was like, ooh, fuck me harder. And I said, okie dokie. That's not gonna work with anybody. I don't know. I'm bad at flirting too. I feel like that when women look at me in my eyes and I look them back in their eyes, they just know I'm not circumcised, you know? Like, I'm like really not circumcised. Like, women have brought me home, and then when they take off my pants, they say their own name, if that makes sense. Like, they take off my pants and they're just like, oh, Kate, Jesus Christ. That's a hard lesson to learn. You know what I mean? That I got a different dinger, you know? Oh, yeah, I had to learn that in a middle school locker room. I was just getting changed, and I was looking around, and I was like, whoa, all 14 of these guys have really weird dicks. It was a religious experience. You know, God came down and was like, no, Nick, you've got a weird dick. But that wasn't God, guys. That was just my gym teacher. That's all that was. And my name's Nick, you know what I mean? It doesn't take an evil genius to make a mean song about my weird dick. It took 2 seconds. Some kid was like, Nick, alien dick. And that was my whole life. That was it. And no one was on my side either when I was like, Greg, your mom's dead. Everyone was like, ugh. You can't be an asshole and have a penis that looks like a vacuum attachment, okay? All right, thanks you guys very much.
One more big round of applause for Nick Cartwright. Nick, alien dick. That's a good one. That's I like it. All right, we're gonna keep this moving right along. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for your next comedian, Mr. Walden Avery.
What's going on, fam? I've been personally going through a bit of a self-identity crisis at the moment. My Netflix thinks I'm white. I was checking my phone earlier the other day and said, Walden, Netflix has a top pick suggestion for you to watch when you get home. And I was like, ooh, nice. What's going on Netflix? Friends? Fuck me up. I thought Netflix had just thrown my ass deep into the sunken place right then and there, and I didn't hear no like teacups clinking, and I didn't hear like a little spoon swirling, and I was just like right into the sunken place. It's like, thank you, Netflix. So I started searching on my Netflix. I was like, black shit, and it was like, oh, Black Mirror. I was like, all right, that's close enough. It's close enough. I'm actually, earlier in my career, I wanted to get a job as a librarian at the Chicago Public Library. You guys know the Harold Washington. Not for the sake of like reading or anything like that, but I wanted to be the librarian that just had to have the luxury of sneaking right up to a homeless man, right nice and slow, and just be like, excuse me, sir. If you're gonna jack off in the library, I didn't read that in the fine print of my library sciences degree. Also in my spare time, especially over this long-ass weekend, I've been going on a really thorough, I guess like apology tour, if you will, on behalf of all black people for that disgraceful, fucked up, long ass funeral for Aretha Franklin. That was some. That was some really shameful shit, and I'm not trying to be funny. That was some really shameful shit. Like, I grew up Catholic to avoid the black church. I bet every member in that black church was like, "Will this nigga get off the fucking?" And I quite honestly. Ariana Grande will never set foot in a black church ever again. They fucked up her black church experience. Like, I'm sorry, no one told Ariana Grande that. When you go to a black church, sometimes the preacher may want to fuck you. Just sometimes. Like, sometimes the deacon may get a little, that's how it works. I feel bad for Ariana Grande, because now every time she hears Amazing Grace, she breaks up in hives. She's just like, oh shit, just fucks me up. Just ruined it. Where else am I going on here? Thinking on religion, any religious people? Any religious? No one's religious? No. Like I said, even though I'm Catholic, I used to belong to a mega church myself. You may have heard of it. It's called Whole Foods. Spent quite a time of my soul at that place, and it was nice. I mean, the people were really chill. They actually, were really helpful, in getting me to, eat healthy and work out, and, things like that, and be conscious of like my diet and thing. But they really had me where they try to get me on that gluten-free weed, and I was like, no, I can't. No, I prefer the weed. I prefer gluten with my weed. I'm sorry. I just something tells me that is not right about the gluten-free weed. But anyway, that's my time, guys. Thank you very much.
Walden Avery! You got a library science degree? The fuck? You are the homeless person in the library. They tell them to stop jacking off. Library sciences? God damn. I didn't know that was a degree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may have seen your next comedian. I always say this about him. So upstairs because that's where he lives. A big round of applause for Tucker Millette.
Hey, what's up, everybody? That's good that now everybody watching Can TV is going to know where I live. You didn't want to just skip that intro tonight, Mars? You could have, I trust these people, but I don't trust those people. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know why they're watching Can TV. I've seen Can TV. It's terrible. Hopefully, I don't want to just talk shit about you. I love Can TV. I love what they stand for. Public access is beautiful because it's like anybody can be on TV. But if you watch Can TV, you realize you're like, oh, it's not a great thing that anybody can be on TV because some people shouldn't be on TV, you know? Like me right now. This would be a terrible late night set. You wouldn't want to watch this on Fallon. It'd be bad. I don't know. Sometimes I get concerned because I don't know how to make food. Does anybody else feel this ever? Where you think oh man. And I don't mean cooking. Some people can cook, but cooking is not making food. Cooking is just taking food that already exists and then mixing it with more pre-existing food to make better food. But that's not making food. You understand? Like if I want a grilled cheese, I don't know how to grow the grain and grind it into flour to bake bread or milk a cow and turn milk into cheese by some magic. I don't know how that happens. Right? I can pick fruit, but where do you find fruit? Have you ever seen fruit? Where do you find it in the fruit section of the grocery store? Exactly. But if I don't have a global economy to lean on and I want a banana, I have to go to South America, okay? I'm not going down there. There's spiders down there. It's scary, okay? I don't know, man. Sometimes I think I need to be more grateful, you know? Because, it's real easy to get caught up in how shitty life can be. You can get worked up about it. You think everyone's after you. But I think we should all be more grateful because no matter how shitty your life is, it could be worse, right? Something to put you to bed at night. You know, it could always be worse for you. I think about last year I lost the internet in my apartment for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I didn't have internet. And it sucked, man. I couldn't watch Netflix. I couldn't stream YouTube videos. I had to waste all the data on my phone, just checking my email and Facebook. I still had internet. It was just slow and shitty, right? But I should be grateful for the 50 weeks out of the year that I have access to high-speed internet because I am not Amish. Think about that, guys. Amish people never have internet. Isn't that crazy? They've never watched a YouTube tutorial. They've never shopped on Amazon. They've never Uber pooled. They don't even know what these things are. But I think Amish people should be grateful too. Because Amish people live in a country where you can practice such a wackadoo religion, right? Because you can't be Amish everywhere, man. You couldn't be Amish in Iran. They wouldn't allow that, you know? You can't even be Islamish in Iran. You got to be all the way. You can't be on the fence. You got to be firmly Muslim, you know? But, thank you. But, and maybe this is fucked up, but I think even people living in religious persecution, those people should be grateful too. Because they have the love and support of their friends and families and communities around them, right? That's good. Because there's some people who are child soldiers and been dragged away from their families and forced to fight for warlords they don't even like. But I think child soldiers should be grateful because at least they know the camaraderie and brotherhood that goes along with being part of a military unit, right? Because there's some people, and this is true, in 2018 will be born, live their entire lives, and then die in concentration camps in North Korea because of political crimes that their grandparents committed in the 1950s. But 2 weeks I didn't have internet, you guys. It was a tragedy. Do you understand? You can't live like that in this day and age. I couldn't watch that Netflix documentary where I learned about those North Korean kids. All right, that's my time. Thank you guys. You've been amazing. Thank you so much.
One more for Tucker Millette. Oh my goodness. Tucker dressed in his "it's been 3 weeks and I haven't done laundry" outfit. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian coming to the stage. Big round of applause for Victoria Vincent.
I want to start off by saying, I thought I would have contributed more to society by now. I also thought I would be cooler by now, or I would just be happy. So I'm 0 for 3. Not doing great. And I was at work this weekend, and one of my patients told me I was pretty and I had a great smile. And then 3 hours later, I went to CVS, and the pharmacist called me sir 3 times. So kind of a mixed bag. Kind of a fucking mixed bag. I don't think I'm great at anything, but I'm okay at lots of things. And I think that should equal out to each other. It should be if you're okay at medicine, which I am, and I'm also okay at coding, I should just be a fucking billionaire, and I'm not. Okay? I'm nowhere close. I Uber also, not because I'm money hungry. I'm just hungry for food, and shelter. I just need those things. I've never been cool. And I don't think I helped myself because I wrote and read Good Charlotte fan fiction till I was 22. And I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that, but some people say it's weird because they're brothers, whatever. And I don't know if people don't respect me because I'm fat or because I'm black or because my email address is still simpleplanlover157@yahoo.com. You can definitely email me because I will respond. I got nothing going on. So that's where we're going to this. And I don't really make fun of people of other groups because I don't make fun of old people because one day I'll be old. But I think it's perfectly acceptable for me to make fun of white people because I'll never be white. Maybe, but that's far off. It's not gonna happen. And I don't like to talk about race, but I was recently home, and I was hanging out with my dad, and I was we were just talking about food, and I was talking about foods I don't like, and I was like, oh, I don't like watermelon, and he's like, oh man, I love watermelon, and I was like, yeah, I bet you fucking do. Because I'm an awful human being and a terrible daughter, and he still loves me. I have a lot of white friends, and people are like, oh, you don't like black people, and I'm like, true. No, I'm like, it's not that I don't like black people, it's that white people are just always around. You guys you're always there. It wasn't on purpose. Everyone's like, oh, you love white guys, and they're just there. They're just around. Okay, and it's you think that I would be more exposed to more people of different colors, but it's still this America, okay? You guys are still dominating that field. So this is the thing. I've been dating a lot lately, and it's awful. I'm 25, I hate it. And people, this is going out to you, guys. Let me tell you something specifically. You cannot, the way to hit on a black girl is not to ask her, or have you ever been, or say that you've never been with a black girl. That's not, I'm not gonna Mr. Miyagi this shit. If you don't know how to already do it, we're not doing it. Don't be it's not appealing to be I've never been with a black girl. And I'm like, neither have I. What are we doing here? We just starting random conversations with random phrases? And a lot of, and it's mostly white guys. A guy unmatched me on Tinder the other day because I wouldn't peg him. And I don't get it, but I can understand it. And I don't understand with your guys' fascination and me sitting on your face. It's not gonna happen because one of us is gonna die. Most likely you. But yeah, and I've been seeing this guy recently, and like he says I'm really depressing and dark, and I'm not like disagreeing with him, because like sometimes in the middle of sex I'll just like yell out like, life is fleeting, and like what is our existence, you know? Instead of like, oh daddy, I'm like, oh my God, are we gonna be alive in a couple weeks? Does God exist? Okay, so it's almost time for me to go, but my last joke is my favorite one that I've written recently, and the other day I was looking up product, like I was looking up things to, like, 'cause my skin sucks. Well, no, it's great, but like I was looking at products for my skin, and like instead of Googling like a normal human being, I Googled best products for blackface. And I was like, that might not work. So I went to some very dark corners of the internet that day. Very dark corners. Okay, thanks guys.
Take another look and tell me that.
Victoria Vincent! Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at number 5 on our list. Your number 5 comedian has grown a lot of facial hair since I last saw him. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Jamal Gishon.
I'm an evil gal. Don't you bother with me.
Good evening, whites. I'm growing this facial hair because I'm a father and I hate it. I was in the Air Force. Exactly the response I'd expect from liberal white people. Do not give a fuck about the military. The only person who cares less about my military service than liberal white people is my 9-year-old daughter, Aaliyah. She does not give a fuck. The other day I was going to walk her dog, has become my dog. That's what happens when you get your asshole daughter a dog. It's an all-white multi-poo named Bruce. White people in the neighborhood are no longer afraid of me. I'm going to walk my nigga Bruce. And I look at Aaliyah and I say, you know what? You don't love me. You don't care about me. I went to war for you. And she said, I don't care. And she put on her headphones. My daughter's fully black, but she has a white girl accent. She's growing up in an all-white suburb named Algonquin. White people are very petty, naming an all-white suburb Algonquin. I've known her and her mother haven't cared about my service for a while, though. I was deployed to Afghanistan. They only sent me one package on Father's Day. Inside of this package contained 3 things. The first thing, a scribbled up picture. That shit was not art, my nigga. I know art. I'm an artist. That shit was not art. The second thing was a single bottle of Michael Jordan cologne. I was like, she wants the terrorist to find me. Unless this shit is gonna make me shoot like MJ, I don't think I need it. The last thing was a single gift card to Applebee's for $8. Although, where the fuck is my child support going to? That wasn't the worst part about the deployment. The worst part about the deployment is the men and women, they weren't allowed to be in the same quarters, so you had to fuck outside. Have you ever ate pussy in a sandstorm, sir? You know what PTSD stands for? Pussy to Sandy disorder is what all the veterans are suffering from. I ate the pussy anyway, though. I'm a patriot. I want you to know that. I also didn't like being deployed because the military working dogs, they had their own quarters that was air conditioned because they might overheat. Like my black ass wasn't overheating. They say America doesn't negotiate with terrorists, and I don't think that's true. I feel like the right terrorist hasn't come along yet. If Michael Vick kidnapped all white people's dogs while you guys were at yoga, niggas would have equal rights right now. The whites never liked that joke. Keep on telling it though. Anybody in here date white women? Everybody stop playing with me. All right, I don't have much time. I don't date white women anymore because they have something terrible about them called white parents. my ex-girlfriend Sarah from Lake Villa. You have to say it like that. I was going to meet her parents, and she said, Jamal, can you not wear your Jordans? I don't want them to get the wrong idea. I'm like, bitch, what is the wrong idea? Like I'm Michael Jordan? Like we about to run a game of 2-on-2? I also don't like dating white women because you guys got mad weird hobbies that I'm not down with. Like her dad once offered to take me sailing. I was like, I think niggas have seen this movie before. I'm not getting on your fucking sailboat, Greg. It's not happening. I'm black and I'm a veteran. That is not the joke. Is that a white person or a nigga laughing? I don't know. I'm gonna fight him either way. I'm black and I'm a veteran and I'm a man, so I'm literally not allowed to cry ever. But a few months ago, I found myself in such a position. April 22nd, that's the day my asshole daughter Aaliyah was born. April 22nd is also the first time I ever did stand-up. And April 22nd of this year, my son was born. But what made me cry the most that day is on the TV, Remember the Titans was playing? I was like, nigga, we can live like this. United. My child's fully black. The nurse came in and I was like, oh, what's his name? I said, his name is Prometheus. I named my son Prometheus. And she was like, oh my God, is he Greek? I was like, no, bitch, and he's also not a god. All right, that's my time. My name's Jamal Gushon. Thank you.
If you tell me good morning, I'm gonna tell you that's a lie. If you say hello, baby, I'm gonna
Jamal Gushon! Woo! Prometheus. No, black people naming their kids different stuff. My son's, hey, my son's name is Yoshi. Everybody's like, it's like the cartoon character? No, fucking nigga's a ninja. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian coming to the stage, Lindsay Shaw. There she comes.
Thanks. I have this little amateur book because I thought it was an open mic, but Comedy Central's here, so. Or whatever. No, thank you. Thanks for being here. Hi, guys. What you have before you is my best impersonation of Nev Campbell if she shopped at Aldi, practiced pull and pray, and has been to jail. Has anyone here been to jail? No, I'm not talking about the drunk tank either, like jail. All right, yeah, because you were in the military. No, yeah, I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary since being in jail. Don't be fooled by the bangs. Yeah, I was in jail. It was not fun. Before you go, you think, okay, let me find some silver lining. Maybe I'll gain some street cred, I'll get in there and work out more. I don't know, at least get eaten out. You get there, and it's nothing but reruns of The Cosby Show and instant chili you have to cook on a fluorescent light. It's a real letdown, and everyone asked me when I got out, did you hook up with your roommate, your cellmate? Did you hook up with anyone? No. I had no pillow. I wore the same underwear for 3 weeks. Yes. And you wanted to get your hands on Doritos, and you weren't worried about climaxing. You were worried about making a walking taco, not whether or not yours was going to be eaten out. So it was a real interesting time. I get out a year later, and you know what? Not much has changed. I have a seeking arrangement profile. I walk dogs and know the IRS. So you've hit a low point in life, though, when you try to return a vibrator. That's a low, right? I mean, it's not like you got home and realized you don't like the shade of pink that it is. You used it, and now you're trying to get your money back for it. And you go to one of these sex toy shops, and the people that work there, they talk very calmly and assertively, like they are selling ottomans at Pier 1. And they have access to all top-of-the-line toys, so they're really well taken care of. And she was trying to sell me an alternative toy, and she's like, this one's really soft to the touch, nice rounded edges, but durable, it's sturdy. I'm gonna be like, babe, you are pitching me a dildo the size of my torso, not a Papazon chair. Let's get on the same page. You guys don't go to sex toy stores, that's fine. You can't have mine because it sounds like a weed whacker with a loose blade. That's where I'm at, and I need one of these because I'm single. And I threw in the towel on Bumble and dating apps, literally, because the last guy from Bumble made me squirt. And if you think this is hot, it's not, okay? This is a mess. It was like a water main break. It was a whole scene. My room looked like something out of Hurricane Harvey. And, I mean, he had to be coptered out by FEMA afterward. It was bad. I think he found a black Sharpie marker and left get help, send help on the front door. It was really bad. Needless to say, we didn't go to brunch the next day. It was like a dine and dash, but a squirt and skirt. He just left. And I don't go to brunch, I have to work them. Anyone go to brunch here? Are you familiar with this concept? You go to brunch, you wear a checkered shirt, you go to brunch, come on. You go to brunch, don't deny it, and this is the best part about working brunch is waiting on the females. They're a lot of fun. They come in and there's a gaggle of them. Just a whole lot of them. One of them's wearing a shirt that says shopping, texting, champagne, white supremacy. She opens her mouth to speak and sounds like a Tinkerbell queef. She orders a buffet of drinks. Not one, but 10 to 12. I'll have a coffee, a water, a Diet Coke. Hot tea, iced tea, light ice. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a Bloody Mary. And an orange juice. Babe, are you ordering a drink for every year your dad ignored you? Because I'm not a counselor, okay? I'll have them sprinkle a little Prozac in your chili Achilles. Let's move it along. These are the same kind of girls that complain about being taken out on elaborate dates. He booked an all-inclusive week in Tulum. I'm over it. Babe, I'm lucky if a guy I'm hanging out with springs for a 20 sack from White Castle and offers to split the cost of Plan B, so you take your ass to Tulum. That is a PSA, gentlemen. If you're sleeping with women, you pay for Plan B, don't fuck around. You pay for, it says it right there in the box, he pays. And at least goes half-seas on brunch. Pay for Plan B and don't ask me to do reverse cowgirl. It's like I'm back in the clink. Yeah, I'll do it because it's the only time I feel athletic. But what is with this move? What? You just want to see my backside bounce? Then I'm looking back and these chins start forming. It's like I'm trying to parallel park. No, it's not cute. Don't ask me to do it. And if you get it, expect to buy me at least 6 drinks at brunch. Thanks, guys.
That was Lindsay Shaw. All right. Comedian number 7. We're halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. The very funny Amy Schwartz.
All right, halfway there. Living on a prayer. I don't know. All right, that was a lame start. So I was just stalling to move the mic, and then I always say the dumbest shit when I'm moving the mic stand. Hey, Can TV, what's up? I have a Can TV story, but I'll save it for later. I'm doing okay, but like sometimes I kind of feel like I don't know if you guys ever feel this way, like you're that quarterback that just won't retire of your own life, you know? Like you're in the bathroom in the mirror, like shit, I've got to go back out there. I don't want to. I want to take a nap, and I don't think I trust my offensive line, you know? They've let me down. I'm doing all right, though. Like, I'm having a really good month. I had, like, a really shitty spring. But recently I got recognized for being a stand-up comic for the first time this year, which, yeah, it was pretty cool, because, like, the only other times I've been recognized is, like, for working in the coupon factory, and that's pretty lame. So, you guys know what I'm talking about. Someone said what? You know. Where all the fucking comedians used to work. All right. So I got recognized, but it wasn't anywhere cool or anything cool. I got recognized at the most uncool places. I got recognized at the pharmacy and the hospital. Not cool at all. Like, if you're recognized at a bar, like, maybe you'll get, like, a free shot. Like, that's cool. You know, but at a pharmacy, not so cool. Like, I went to the pharmacy and I was buying Malort and birth control like a responsible adult. And I didn't get, like, free birth control in the house. I got told, ma'am, you can't buy alcohol here. Please go to the back. Which is very confusing that you can't buy liquid alcohol drugs at a drug counter. But them's the rules. and then I'll go and I'll tell you about the time I got recognized in the hospital, which was way worse. So I got recognized there, which is not a place you want to get recognized again, because like you don't want someone being like, hey, I know you. Aren't you the like clown person that tells jokes? Ha 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 ha, as they shakily put a needle in your arm. Like, not a good time to be recognized. But I was like in the hospital because of crazy circumstance. So like I moved to Uptown. And then, yeah, somebody wooed for Uptown? Who did that? This is common. This has probably happened to a lot of you guys. I moved to Uptown. I got carbon monoxide poisoning. Then I got carbon monoxide poisoning again. Then I got carbon monoxide poisoning again, all in my new apartment. Then I got anxiety and depression and insomnia from said carbon monoxide poisoning, which led to more insomnia, which led to me ending up at the hospital. And my pupils were different sizes. I couldn't like see out of my eyes. Like they were different sizes. It was really nuts. And then at the hospital, I made like the classic mistake you never make. I made the mistake of being like, well, yeah, I want to die, but like who doesn't, right? And that's when the cops show up and they're like, you're being locked in that side of the hospital. And you're like, whoa, wait, you know, these are jokes, you guys. Remember me? Jokes. And they're like, no. And that was interesting because being in that side of the hospital, it's kind of like, it's like being at, like, there's a lot of creative people. There's a lot of people detoxing off drugs, a lot of people depressed. So it's basically like you're at like sleepover art camp meets jail. Like you can't leave. Everyone's creative and bummed out. The best part is like you were talking about jail earlier, like no one gives a shit about chocolate pudding there. The big item is crayons, right? Because you got creative people who can't have sharp objects. And so like crayons are like cigarettes, like they're like the hot item. And then there's like weird stuff happening where it's like summer camp where people are trying to hook up, so they're making lipstick and mascara out of crayons, which is genius. All right, I'm running out of time. I'll end on this. Man, there's another one I want to do too, but I'll end on this one. We'll keep it going dark. So it sucks when you've had like anxiety or depression, especially like on record at a hospital, because if you ever get killed by someone, you end up being a suspect in your own murder case. You know, like they'll never catch the person. The cops will be like, case closed. Yeah, it wasn't the husband. No. All right, thanks so much, guys.
Schwartz. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, don't forget, stick around to the end of the show. We got a free shot of alcohol coming, and we're here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. There's a lot of cool shows here at CiC Theater, so maybe you want to check some of those out. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the one, the only man to wear a sweater and a skull cap in 95-degree weather, Aaron McDavid!
I'm from Texas. This is cold to me, okay? I'm chilling. It's like 150 degrees right now in Texas. All right, I'm assuming y'all are doing okay. Anybody Jewish here? Oh, that's weird. That's a weird statement. Anybody Jew here? No, is anyone Jewish here? All right, good. All right, happy early Rosh Hashanah. Did I say that right? I don't even know. No, yeah, I'm just, I know, Amy, you're Jewish-ish. Jewy-ish, I don't know. But happy Rosh Hashanah, y'all. No, my friend, my best friend's Jewish, and like we grew up together, you know, as kids. And he actually had a grandma who like survived Germany during like the whole Holocaust, World War II shit. You know, that's really good for her. But at the same time, I think it made her a little bit arrogant. I do think it, because I remember like we were kids, we'd be playing like hide and seek, and she just looked at us like amateurs. Y'all never survive. Yeah. Yeah, I live in Chicago now. I'm enjoying it. Like, what I love about Chicago is it's a very diverse city. You got all types of people here. You got black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Jewish. You got Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Hare Krishnas, all types of people, right? Just like throw a rock in any direction, you will commit a hate crime. You will 110% will commit a hate crime here. I don't recommend it, but you can. One of my bosses, he's actually from Iran. He's a Middle Eastern dude, and he's got a temper on him because he gets pissed off at me a lot. He does. Like I spilled milk the other day. He just cussed me out, but it's in his own language. Like, and he's done that so many times that like at this point, I can pick up the N-word in Arabic. Like it's got way more H's in it. Like it. Same spirit, just way more H's. Yeah, I live in Uptown. I'm the guy who went, woo! It's like, yeah. Fuck that, that's where I live. Represent, man. Yeah. Yeah, Uptown. It can be a rough neighborhood, though. Like, first time I moved up there, I went to the local McDonald's. There was a bullet hole in the middle of the McDonald's window. Big old bullet hole. Second thing I noticed, though, that McDonald's, best customer service. Like, just... a little bit more motivated at this McDonald's, right? Like, hey, okay, just to let y'all know, this drive-through can turn into a drive-by real quick, y'all. That's my neighborhood, though. Yeah. Yeah. I had a friend of mine. She was white at the time. She's still white. I don't know why I say at the time. I don't know. Like she didn't. She's not Rachel Dolezal. She's still white. Yeah, she's white. She was telling me like what type of men she's into. She said like she's into like two types: well-dressed black men and scruffy pale-looking white guys. Yeah, well-dressed black dudes, scruffy pale-looking white dudes. Those were two. So in her head, Idris Elba is on par with Joe Dirt. It just, yeah. And you wouldn't hear the like reverse of that. You wouldn't hear like a black woman be like, "Hey, I got two types. Okay, I like Hugh Jackman and Flavor Flav." Like you just wouldn't. Yeah, I guess go to Edinburgh, Scotland. Last year to do comedy up there, and that was fun. My parents, they showed up too, and they watched the shows I did, and they were very supportive. That was great. Then I had to like enjoy Scotland with them. That did not go well because like one time we went to a diner that was closed that we didn't know about. It was closed when we got there, and they were trying to apologize to us like, "We're sorry, we're closed. We'll be open again in a few hours." But it's in Scottish, so they're just like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Freedom. You know how the Scottish talk. My dad got pissed. He was like, "Oh, so we just wasted this like taxi for nothing," because he spent a lot on that taxi. And then the people in the diner, they're like, "We're so sorry. We'll call your next taxi. It's on us." But again, it's in Scottish, so they were like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh, shaking that stood." That was weirdos talk. Then my dad got so pissed, he just yells at them in the middle of the diner, "I can't understand you." Just in the middle of the diner. And as a black man, that was embarrassing. Okay. But at the same time, as a black man, so inspiring. That was so, because I just witnessed a black person shout at a white person, "Speak English." It was just, just. Baby, you better watch what you say. I'm the queen of soul. You mess with me.
Aaron McDavis, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron was on a roll. Sarah had to play him off. All right, that was the one for the evening. We got our one playoff. Next one, Eric Bass throws a bottle at their head. All right, we're moving right along. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, Connor King.
Thank you. All right, how we doing? Some half woos, hell yeah, I'm doing good. I just got back from visiting some family. I got to see my mom, stepdad Steve. I like Steve. Anyone like their stepdad? All right, we got a half yeah, one raised hand, and a woo. Okay, what's your stepdad's name?
Dick.
Dick. All right, I'm gonna ditch the obvious joke there, but holy shit, that's the most stepdad name. Because really, if you think about it, there's never been a stepdad whose name is longer than 2 syllables, right? Like, it's like Dick, Steve, Dan. Anything too long, kids won't remember you, you know? Like, you'll never meet a stepdad named William, right? Second that dude fucks your mom, he's Bill now. You know what I mean? That's like the rules. But I think Steve's cool. I see Steve more like a father than my actual dad. You know, my real dad is just some dude I smoke weed with, you know? You know how weird it is to put your own dad in the friend zone, you know? It's like, I love you like a brother, father. Like, it's weird. It's very Kentucky, you know? But I know people don't like step-parents. I get that. But personally, I think step-parents are too polite. You know, it's like, cut the bullshit, right? Like, oh, I'm not here to replace your dad. Then what the fuck are you doing here? You know, like, I want a replacement, right? You got one job, dude. Growing up, whenever I saw my dad, instead of telling me what, like, you know, men do, he would just tell me what, like, men don't do. You know, like, he would tell me, men don't use straws. Yeah. I always thought he was an asshole. Turns out he was an activist, you know? Yeah. While you sisters were taking sips, he was saving sea turtles, okay? So there's a tag to be had there, but it wasn't that one, and we learned it. And you did too. All right, perfect. At home, feel free to @ me. Okay. You're going to put that in the bottom, right? Cameraman, give me a thumbs up. All right, that's all I need. Cool. I've been trying to talk to my mom more. Usually when I talk to my mom, it's for about like 3 minutes, and I'm saying goodbye for 57. You know, it's a long. Maybe I don't need to have the numbers. Don't you make your audience do math, okay? In case anyone watching this earlier got mistaken, this is an open mic, all right? Like, don't let any of these polished bits before me fool you. In case you didn't believe me. Okay, all right. I've been going to therapy more recently. I think it's important to be in touch with your feelings. But having said that, I also think sometimes feelings can get in the way of seeing the point. And I mean that in like little ways too. Like, I have a friend who told me that they hate being shushed. It's like, yeah, dude, I think that's the fucking point, okay? I don't think they like what you're saying either, right? Also, if they're hushing you, it could be way worse. It's the nicest thing you could do, okay? Everyone knows shushing is just short for shut the fuck up, all right? Like, people know that, man. I don't really watch movies anymore. Instead, I watch 18 YouTube videos the length of a movie. People say I have a short attention span, like it's a bad thing, you know? I can't get my span short enough, okay? All right, why are you taking pride that it takes you 30 minutes to focus on something? It takes people 3 seconds, okay? You know? That's an attention efficiency, all right? This is the part of my act where I stop making jokes and I just make points. And I'm glad you guys picked up on that. All right. Get that light yet? If you throw the bottle, do I get to pick which one? That's Jack, please. I went to the Pitchfork Music Festival recently. Anyone else? All right, cool, perfect. We're better than everyone else. Okay. I got free tickets though. I'm not that cool. But my friend gave me tickets. I brought a girl with me, and when I was on the way there, this girl told me that she used to date one of the people on the show. Yeah, but I'm secure with myself, so I have a panic attack, right? I'm freaking out. And then when we get there, the dude is on stage performing while we are in line for security. You know how, like, embarrassing that is, or just weird it is to have someone's ex performing for thousands of people when you just got asked to throw away your trail mix? You know, that's like, he sunned the shit out of me, yeah. But that's not the first time it's happened. I have a penchant for seeing exes perform. Like, I recently got out of a relationship, and my ex is back in a relationship, and the other day, I watched the two of them do improv together. Yeah, dude, it's rough seeing your ex with someone else. Even harder, having them ask you for a suggestion, all right? That's that's real rough. Can we get a suggestion? Work on yourself, you know, that's... That wasn't too bitter, right? Okay, perfect. All right, guys, thank you for my time. Thank you.
Connor King. Well, at least you can know that her relationship is going nowhere. She's dating an improviser. That is one of the brokest relationships she's going to be in. Let's improvise that we're eating food. All right. Your number 10 comedian, Nor Name.
Thank you, guys. Let's keep it going for the room. This is actually an amazing room. It's great atmosphere. Can TV. It's a little misleading because most open mics aren't like this. Like, you don't feel good. It's usually depression. Yeah. It doesn't matter how well you do, just the atmosphere in the room. But this is going great. Can TV should change their slogan. Curing depression, one comedy room at a time. For sure. I'm pretty sure that's where you develop it. People say like it's at home or childhood. No, it's comedy. It's open mics. It's bars in Chicago. I don't have depression, guys. I swear. I'm actually going to go down the actual open mic path since people have been crushing. I'm going to just talk about some shit that happened recently. How was everyone's Labor Day? Barbecues, yeah? Okay, that's great. I just got back from a cruise. Yeah, don't cheer for that. No, that's the right reaction. You can cheer for the fact that I did not pay for this cruise, though. Yeah, this was completely paid for by an overenthusiastic white man. Yeah, and I got on the boat. Historically, this doesn't work out. But I made it. I'm here. It's all good. Cruises are interesting. That was the first one I've ever been on. I don't think I'll be back, honestly. They're cool for about 48 hours, and then when you're like, ooh, we're fucking moving. It's great. And then it's the Groundhog Day. Day after day. It's Groundhog Day without Bill Murray. It's fucking horrible. It's like Golden Corral of the Seas. People are just there for the buffet. That's it. But I made it back. Happy to make it back. I actually live with my girlfriend. I moved in with her recently. Does anyone here live alone? Like completely alone, no roommates, nothing? I don't. How long have you lived alone? 4 months. 4 months? Okay, you're still okay. Get out before a year. Shit gets weird at a year, okay? I lived alone in a studio apartment in Nashville. And this is while I was dating her, and it got weird. I don't think I can talk about legally how weird it got, but I can say the most dangerous thing that happened was I spilled Chef Boyardee on my dick. Yeah, and I was like, I should move in with her. Like, someone should be here if I get third-degree burns, right? So I did, and that was great. I was on my best behavior for like 6 months. So was she. And then she started just farting everywhere. Just peeing with the door open. Great, wonderful, we get comfortable. We all have our things. I was on my best behavior for about a year. Now, I'm starting to, do my own things I did in Nashville. I like to wake up, go look at the sunrise. Actually, the best breeze in the city happens right around sunrise. And I like to rub water on my nipples and just walk outside shirtless. Catch that breeze. So I won't be going back to my apartment after this because I'm pretty sure my landlord watches Can TV. Yeah, and they live right above me, so they'll probably be evicting me shortly after this set. No, but she's gotten too comfortable. She eats whole sub sandwiches in the middle of the living room naked. It's not okay. We can watch Planet Earth on Netflix. I don't want it in my fucking living room, right? It's fair. I go outside to do my shit, right? It's been good. It's been good. No complaints. Except that one. Except that big one. This is on TV, right? No. I've been seeing her for a while. She has a Nuva ring, and not a lot of people know what that is. Yeah, surprisingly. Some people do. But the only way I can describe it to people who don't know is it's kind of like a high school class ring that you shove up there. Just like a high school class ring stops all chances of success. It's a beautiful fucking thing. She's not pregnant, and nobody I know who has a high school class ring has gotten past high school, so. Perfect. Nike should sponsor Nuva rings. Just do it. I'm psyched about the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. I think it's awesome. Yeah. He literally just did it. He lost a fucking career, but he did it. All right, I think I'm gonna end on that note, guys. Thank you so much for having it.
Nor name. Woohoo! Letting us all know what the Nuva ring is. And about class rings. All right. We're still in here, right? Still having fun? Yeah, we're good, we're good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Moving right along. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the very funny Lindsay Finn. Oh, she's walking around. She's got to get her. She grabbed her beer and not her notebook.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Yeah, great. I just want to let you guys know what a sense of camaraderie I have with all of you guys because my name is Lindsay, with an E. I live in Uptown, and my stepdad's name is Steve, so pulling it all together here. We're all in the same boat. Great. So I have kind of been using this open mic as an opportunity to use it as like therapy to talk about my divorce. So you're welcome in advance. So I recently got divorced. I got divorced in November of last year. And I know what you're thinking. Way too young to be divorced, and you're right. So I got divorced in November, and then my ex-husband calls me in April to say that he is engaged again. And I'm not a wizard or a rocket scientist, but I know that that's not like a really long amount of time between the divorce and getting engaged. It's about 5 months, so that was fine. But except that he called me during the very narrow window when I didn't have any toilet paper in my apartment. Just kidding. It was actually a pretty big window. I'm disgusting. So he calls me to let me know that he's engaged again, and then I have to go to the bathroom and wipe myself with a cotton ball, which was, it was like adding insult to injury. It was pretty awful. But recently, I found out, literally 4 days ago, that he and his new fiance got a dog, which is fucking adorable. Good for them. Except that I found out when I was coming home from a trip to see his family. That's a whole thing. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. I came back from a trip to see his family, and I'm dragging my suitcase down the sidewalk. I'm coming back from Miami. I had been delayed at Miami International Airport, which is the 7th circle of hell, for 8 hours. And I'm dragging my suitcase down the street, and I'm checking Instagram, and I see that they got a fucking Labradoodle. And then I look up, and there's sirens and lights, and there was a broken water main on my street. And I got back to my apartment after being gone for a week, and I had no water in my apartment. So I found out he was engaged, no toilet paper. I found out they got a dog, no water. Which was fine, except I paid his way through grad school, so with my work. So I was I'm kind of there's a part of me that's just a little bit bitter. I live in a studio where I have to unplug the kitchen light to use the microwave. And this bitch gets a Labradoodle? Are you fucking kidding me? Cool. Tight. Anyway, so that was fun. But so my ex-husband and I are still friends, which if you've ever been divorced, is anyone in here divorced? Oh my God, don't fucking lie to me because you feel bad for me. It's not that fun. It's actually fine. The thing about getting divorced is you feel you're gonna be judged when you get divorced. But what you don't consider is that if you say that you're still friends with your ex, you're judged even harder. People are I can never do that. And you're I know, because you lack nuance and the ability to process complex human emotions. You suck. You're boring. I'm bored. So my ex-husband and I are still friends, so I'm invited to his wedding. His wedding is going to be in, are you ready for it? January of next year in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, good times. So here's the thing. My ex-husband's from Miami. We used to all of his friends are in Chicago. They live in LA, but they're getting married in Cleveland, Ohio in January of next year. So I just want to put this out there for all of y'all. No matter what you're doing next January 18th, no matter how bad your day is going, no matter what, whatever you're doing, write this fucking down. No matter how bad your day is, you are not at your ex-spouse's wedding in Cleveland, Ohio. So just, yeah, I got the light. So, moving on from my divorce. Just kidding, I never will. Lot of fucked up things happening in politics. Like right now, like Brett Kavanaugh is like fucking getting, like trying to be, I don't know, like our next Supreme Court justice, which is amazing because like I'm pretty sure that our founding fathers had no intention of someone getting a lifetime judicial appointment by the name of Brett. Like if we're being honest. And like the fact that this guy is like anti-choice is like kind of mind-blowing, because have you ever met a guy named Brett who was not okay with abortion? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how many Bretts have knocked up girls accidentally? Like, do you know how many Bretts have knocked me up accidentally? And that's just since my divorce.
Keep it going for Lindsay Finn. That's right, everybody. Open mic is very therapeutic. You come to open mics, you get all those feelings out, and then you feel better after it's all done. And you get drinks. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, Nick Mayer!
I can be wrong.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep the energy going for divorce. Let's keep the energy going for love. Oh, come on, who's in love? Yeah, you. Fuck you. Free love, brother. I feel like our grandparents fell in love like way better than my generation does. Like, I feel like my grandpa would like go out in the world and like stumble around, run into somebody and get a milkshake, you know, fall in love. And they said something to you like, oh, Yolanda and I? Oh, you know, we met and we knew we were kindred spirits, you know? Like, you know, my generation, we're all just like sitting on toilets, swiping left or right, and saying things like, oh, Nicole and I? Yeah, we had like 10 Spotify matches or something. Yeah, I guess you can say we're kindred spirits, you know? I'm kind of cynical about love. So like anytime I get dumped, my friends are always like, Nick, don't worry. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And I'm just like, yeah, well, there's also plenty of plastic too. I mean, think about it. I guess I'm cynical because like my parents got divorced, but for the most part of my adult life, like I grew up with really liberal, progressive parents, which is great. Like progressive parents are awesome, until just one of them decides to be polyamorous. It's a conversation you should have. But my parents are going through the divorce right now. You know, they're juggling all the assets and everything, the house, the car, the Verizon phone plan. But it's cool. Like, my parents, like, fell out of love, but they're Jewish, you know, so they stayed together for, like, the family plan. It's good stuff, you know. They say, what's the value on love? Discounts. You gotta. Does anybody ever, like, question, like, how you and your friends would, like, do deserted on a desert island, you know? It's a question you should have. You should have that conversation with your friends. But like me and a couple of my boys, you know, we'd be fine. Some of us are bisexual, so you know, we'd be sexually satisfied at the very least. Except for my friend Ryan, you know, fucking loser. He's straight. So you know, like me and my boys, you know, like we'd just be on the beach, we'd just be going at it, you know, like Ryan's just like jerking off in the corner. We're just going at it, we look at him, jerking off in the corner, what a loser. Wait, is he looking at us? You fucking homo. I think I can say that if I'm halfway there. But I am out here trying to be a stand-up comedian, which is just a creative way of saying that I'm a waiter.
But I was waiting tables the other day, and I noticed that there was a woman breastfeeding in my section. And you know, as an ambassador of the restaurant, I had to walk right up to her, and I was like, excuse me, ma'am? We don't allow any outside food or drink in here. Upper management, I know. I know, so you like, smuggled it in under your shirt and everything, but breasts are concealed under the shirt. Free the nipple is what I'm trying to say. I did recently come out, though. Thank you. There it is. I came out as a cisgender homo sapien. It's a tough world out there. If you don't know what cisgender means, it just means that your birth sex correlates with your gender identity. So I have a penis and identify as a male, so therefore I get paid more and have a shorter life expectancy. But, you know, like, I feel like if I was to call a Trump supporter a cisgender homo sapien, they'd just be like, sir, I can assure you that I ain't no sissy gender. And I'm a heterosapien. But if you were to call a liberal a homo sapien, they'd just be like, I'm offended. And did you just assume my species masterclass? Cool, thank you so much. My name's Nick Mayer.
Nick Mayer, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. I can't catch up yet on cisgender and all that other stuff. I can't. I don't know all the breakdowns. I didn't do well in school, if you didn't understand that earlier, so I have not learned it all yet. I still just, whatever. Right? Good. Cool. Excellent. Glad we're moving right along. I'm going to bring up your next comedian to that lull. No, I'm not. Because this guy's, he's fun. You may have seen him around the city. He produces a lot of different shows. Ladies and gentlemen, he was also on some of your favorite Chicago TV shows, because there's like 800 of them. Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Ex-Cons, all those great Chicago shows. And they're coming out with more, if you didn't know, all of them. Chicago Lighting and Heating, Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Torres.
I love all the confidence that all these skinny people have in this handmade wooden step. The left legs are like leaning that way. It's scary. Once you get like this size, I'm the size where you have to worry about those kind of things. I don't trust handmade furniture or store-bought cheap furniture. So like around, I think once you pass 250, that's like the fat where you got to start being worried. I don't know, there's not anybody fat enough in here for that, but there's a weight limit on skydiving. I don't trust any folding chairs. There's also a weight limit on skateboards. Like, this is constantly going through my head when I do anything. People are like, let's do piggyback rides. I'm gonna be the back. I'm never doing it. A weird fat thing I do, if you guys, anybody here wants to rob a grocery store, I'll go with you. I've never got more attention for eating something I haven't bought yet. If you eat something you haven't bought yet and you're fat, everyone at the store, whether they're making eye contact, is looking at you. I don't know what they think. I'm going to finish it and try to roll up the wrappers and hide it and get away with some. This is an open mic, just so there are not going to be hits. Anybody think Trump's just getting a bad rap? This is my theory. So, like, everyone just thinks he's crazy. I think he's just, like, the most simplest guy ever that made it into the president's office. I don't know, what you call it, the seat. So, like, when people hear crazy things, so, like, when you become president, I don't know what's in there, but there is, like, a thing where they said, like, there's a book, and in the book they show you, like, all their secrets and stuff. So I think he just can't handle the secrets. So, like, everyone thinks he's crazy, but if someone showed you a book of aliens, we're normal people, I'd be like, Space Force. We need it now. We should have had it. Why didn't we do anything? You guys like a lot of nostalgic movies? 80s, 70s? My biggest thing about those, I like some of them. They're okay. But nobody's like thinking that everyone in the movie, like say, like what's a good one? Ghostbusters? Yeah. That, like all those people, when they're all together, it was probably super stinky. Like that wasn't the pinnacle of hygiene. If you go from 1982 and back, everyone smelled so bad. Like the one where I like can smell the room, if you watch Saturday Night Fever, that was some stinky fucking bunch of dancing hippies. It was gross. Open mic guys, just give me some of that. This one, so if you guys didn't like that, you're not gonna like this. So, this is the weirdest one. I was super high when I wrote this, but I will not fucking give up on it. So, like Mars, you got some dreams? Yeah. So everyone has dreams. Unless your dream is weird, somebody already has accomplished your dream, right? Unless, I don't know, you have some really weird dream. Somebody's done it. So those people exist already. And then those people are still really sad. So like I'm just telling you, like it doesn't matter what you do. Just don't follow any of your dreams. I'd like to end on that, guys. Thanks.
My dreams have just been dashed. Matt Torres. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your final comedian of the evening. Are you ready for your headliner? Here she comes all the way from across the pond, Hattie Preston.
Hello, everybody. It's Zach. Here we go. Hello. I'm Hattie. I am from across the pond. This week, I've just had my 1-year anniversary since my last shag. Thank you. That's 1 year. Thank you. My friends are getting behind this and calling this new phase of life, just to make me feel better, I think, Star Wars 30, The Return of the Hymen. So we're all really pleased about that. I think I have isolated. I've got to why this has happened. I have actually suddenly realized why this has happened. I'm a nanny because I'm British and I hate stereotypes. So I'm a nanny here. Now, what nannying does is rids you of any possible future enjoyment of sex ever, because you know what might happen if you do this. Do you know what I had today? We did 1 hour. We did 1 hour of this conversation. This conversation with a 5-year-old was why the following sentence doesn't make sense. Miss Hattie, I know this playground like the back of my head. It's hand, isn't it, Molly? It is hand. And she was like, an hour we did that backwards and forwards. And I don't want to walk around with a moron. Like, so I was like, I'm not going to leave it. Like, I pick her up from school. Like, I can't have the one who's like, like you have to, like, we have to like address these things. So we did an hour of that. So I can't. So then she did that selective hearing thing. And people say old people do the selective hearing thing. They don't. Young kids do the selective hearing thing. Like, I could be standing in the living room screaming at the top of my lungs about the fact that we need to get her shoes on because we're going to be late for ballet and I'm going to miss fucking the hot dad. Like, screaming at her about this. If Animal Mechanicals is on the TV, it's like I'm not there. It's like I've never been there. It's just like nothing. I could drop that child in Syria in the middle of an airstrike and she would hear the ice cream truck from the neighboring village. It is unbelievable. She did it again this week. Like, unbelievable. I hadn't seen her. We were in the playground. I hadn't seen her for about 2 hours. Like, she'd been, like, I'd hidden myself really well. So I hadn't seen her for a while. And she appears out of nowhere. And I could hear the ding, 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 and I was like, before you say anything, I have absolutely no cash on me. Like, this vodka wasn't free, you know what I mean? Like, the cash is gone. And she did this amazing thing. She's watched the ice cream truck like a hearse go past us, just like this. I was like, that's funny. Like, I gave her some vodka for that, because like, that is funny. No, good from you. You're funny. Kids aren't allowed to drink over here, are they? That's the thing. So, you know, in England, you can drink in your home from 5. And I'm not like if it's not my parents, like, they obviously loved it, but like, you can drink in your home from 5. Can't do that over here. It's You're funny about, like, that is the thing, you're funny about sobriety. There was a guy in my class the other day, and we were talking about going for a drink afterwards, and he was like, oh, I can't. I've been sober for nearly 10 months. And everyone was like, oh my God, like clapping and like high-fiving him and like, well done. And I was like, if you'd said that in Britain, you'd have just been met with a confused silence because men can't get pregnant. That's what I mean. Everyone was like, would have just been like... I also like going back to the shagging bit. I've as much as I'm, it's a shame I won't be having the sex thing ever again. But ultimately, I have had a sort of ideological hysterectomy. That's what nannying gives you. Like, it's not an actual same results, but you just don't lose the weight. So you just that thing is out. It's out of action now. But I was like, I'm actually not sure I mind. Because I heard an American guy said this the other day, and he was like, oh man, she's so freaking hot, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her. I was like, so you beg your pardon? And he was like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her. I was like, the shit out of her? Like, out of her body. If I pooed myself during sex, like, if I was to poo myself during sex, like, that night would not end in like a post-coital snuggle. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't, I wouldn't even like high-fiving. I'd be like, yeah, well, you did it. Like, you did what you said you'd do. Like, it was a punchy target well met, my man. Like, yay, what a man. He sets a target. Like, it would end in my lifeless cold body just swinging from a light fitting. That's how that night would end. And like, even when my friends found out the reason for my suicide, even they would only come to my funeral to like stand around the coffin with bells being like, shame, like pooed myself. So that's me, Hattie Preston, the most celibate with her hymen. Bye!
Hattie Preston closing out the CiC open mic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out. Woo! I just flipped that out. Thank you all for coming out. Like I said, we do this every Tuesday night. Sign up starts at 8 o'clock. Shows at 8:30. 14 comics. Random draw. We got shows here all nights of the week, so check those out. One more big round of applause for Sarah Moore. And keep that applause going for your bartender, Mr. Eric Bays. I've been your host, Mars Sims. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening.